Hi everyone, this is yours truly, Mrs. Emmanuel, coming to you with distributive property for today. Um, the purpose of this is first get a better understanding of the distributive property so that we can apply it to simplify algebraic expression as well as equations. So what is the distributive property? The distributive property is when you multiply a number by each term within grouping symbols. Grouping symbols could be parentheses, it could be brackets or whatever. After you finish multiplying a number by each term within grouping symbols, then you combine like terms. Okay. Next is the state algebraic representation for the distributive property. So basically, given if I have a for every, I almost put that for every. I guess I shouldn't use that. My likeness. Okay, so for every, let me not put the notation, I will spell it out. For every A, B, C, being any numbers, any number. Okay, it could be any number. It don't matter if it's a real number. It could be a real number, most definitely rational, and so on. Then you can apply this, it'll be A times B plus C, which you take the A and you're going to distribute it in the sum of B and C. So you will say A times B, they will give you AB, plus, because that's a plus sign, A times C, AC. That's a part of the lovely distributive property. Another one. I'm trying to adjust the light. Okay, cool. So another, it would be, I could switch this. I could write B plus C first. I could put B plus C and then write A on the right-hand side, and you get the same result because you still would say A times B. So you have AB, then you have A times C. Since that's a plus, I'll put a plus here. So it'll be AC. Okay. Also, with the distributive property algebraically, it could be A times B minus C equals. It's the same process. You're going to distribute that A throughout the difference of this problem. So it'll be A times B minus A times C. Or I could write it as the difference of B and C times A equals, and again, distributed A times B minus A times C. And the reason this works is because it is multiplication, and multiplication is commutative. So you could switch the things around. You could switch the two factors, or you got to switch A and B plus C around, as well as the A times B minus C. Okay? So I'm trying to stay calm because usually I'm loud, but trying to keep it calm. So after we have defined it, so let's apply it. Let's see it in action. So let's do an example one. Give you an example one. So with example one, let's do 2 times x minus 5. Okay? So it's the same thing. We're going to distribute. So what we're going to do, we're going to take this 2 and distribute it within the difference of x and 5. So when I do that, I have 2 times x. So we have 2 times x minus 2 times 5. Okay. So 2 times x remains 2 times x. I'm going to bring my negative sign there. Then I'm going to say 2 times 5 is, that's right, the product is 10. So now I know it's simplified to 2x minus 10, and there's no like terms, so we're done with our binomial being the results. Example 2. Example 2, I'm going to do the same, but I'm going to change it from 2. Well, now I'm going to change for 2, I'm going to change it from minus negative to a positive 5. And what do you predict is going to be different? You could pause the video right here and try it out and then start it to see what you get the same results as I do. So I'm going to distribute it I'm going to go ahead and say, okay, I'm going to distribute the 2 amongst the sum of x and 5, making sure that I multiply by each term within the parentheses. So I have 2 times x plus, since there's a plus in between x and 5, bring the plus here. Then I say 2 times 5. So I end up with 2x plus the product of 2 and 5 is 10. So again, I simplified it to be 2x plus 10. However, here we end up with 2x minus 10 because of this was the difference of x and 5, and this is the sum of x and 5. So that was example 2. So let's go and do example 3. And take it to more, I guess I should say, a longer process. So let's add more terms, in other words. So let's do 2 times 3 plus x, close the parenthesis, and put minus 5. Now I will tell you, you probably say, why you're just using a 2 and you're not using negative? You can use the negatives just as well. Matter of fact, since you want, I'm going to do this first, then I do with the negative. So let's go ahead and distribute the 2 now to the parentheses. Only the terms inside the parentheses. Okay? So I would say 2 times 3, that's a plus, plus 2 times x. Bring down the other information. This negative 5, this constant here, is not inside the parentheses, so you just bring it down. Then you simplify. You say 2 times 3 is 6 plus 2x minus 5. Now the question is, am I done? You have to check for your like terms to see if they're like terms. And I noticed that I have a constant here of 6 and a constant negative 5. So those are like terms. I can combine it. The 2x is just by itself. So I will bring the positive 2x down, and I'll combine 6 minus 5. So I'll rewrite it as plus 6 minus 5. Okay, and you probably say, I knew that was 1. I didn't write 6 minus 5, I just wrote 1. That's fine, you can do that. So I'm rewriting it as 2x, and the difference of 6 and 5 is positive 1. And I'm done. Okay. Example 5. Now keep in mind that I'm verbally telling you the steps. You may want to pause to write the steps down for yourself. But the good part about the video, you can always stop and start over. So now just say if it was negative 2 times 5 minus x plus 10. Okay, just giving you something with a negative. Same process, it's the same process. I'm going to take the negative 2 that is being multiplied by 5 minus x. So I'm going to say negative 2 times 5, negative 2 times x, negative x plus 10. So here we go. We're going to say negative 2 times 5. Got that? Times, then I'm put my minus sign here. Then I'm put my negative 2 times the x plus 10. You probably say, why didn't you put this in parentheses? You can. That's your preference, okay? Just know that you have a subtraction and a negative. Or you can say I got a negative for negative, a subtract, same difference. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and circle this, and I know that a negative and a negative is a positive. Okay, so let me make this a little darker. A negative for negative, this really becomes a positive. So let me go ahead and say negative 2 times 5, that's going to be negative